Hi, it's Pascal here, and in today's video, I'm just gonna answer an email, respond to an email I got from someone called Adeola. Now, I'll simply read out the question and we take it from there. So it simply says, I felt you were talking to me whilst watching you. My husband and I have been going through counseling to help us in our marriage. And when you started talking, I knew you knew what you were talking about. And my question is, how can the online business help us? Now, if you don't know the video Adeola is talking about, it's the video in my YouTube channel. It's called Save, as titled it's Save a Family and Take Control. Now, it's saying we all know the benefits of online business. Everybody knows it gives you time and financial freedom and all that, but it's not everybody that is prepared to do the work. Now, Adeola, to give you a little bit of context, so that you can really understand what it takes, because it's not just if you start an online business, everything fixed. I'll give you my own perspective, what happened to me, so that you can relate and see if it's something that you can model and follow. Now, before I started my online business, I was in the same, maybe pretty much or worse situation that you were in. I had a wife and just one son at that time. Now I've got a daughter. Now what happened was, I found out that I was like trading. I was not talking to my partner. We lived under the same house, but we were not really living. We were just getting by. I felt what held us together was our son. Because if I look back now, maybe if we didn't have any child, maybe we would have just broken up. It would have just been, it's just like snap of the finger, we just separate. But I think that our son held us together to like stick it out a little bit. So during that process, I figured out that there was a problem, because obviously before we got together to have a child, we weren't like that. But circumstances in life molded us to start behaving the way we started behaving, and we kind of entered into that route of not really knowing what the problem is, but we knew that there was an underlying problem. So what I will say is, when I started, it was more of I thought if I have enough money, then I'll pay off all the bills, of which I had a job, I was paying the bills, but that was the motivation that got me into starting a business online. And plus the fact that I wasn't spending time with my son, because it was more like my son that drew me into the online business, because I saw that I was going to work every single day. I wasn't spending time with him. I could barely I don't even know the name of his teacher in the nursery. I only went when he was in nursery twice. That was the first, when he was admitted, the first day, and they gave me a call that he was sick. Those is the only 2 days I went to the nursery throughout a whole year. So that was a big problem. So when I saw that happening, I knew that if I don't spend time with him while he was growing up, then I would not be able to do that again. So that lured me going into online business. So, but when I started the online business, this is where it gets interesting. This is where your question comes in. Bear in mind, I wasn't talking to my partner then. So I made the whole decision. I paid for the program. I started devouring it, and I started working on it day in, day out. I was very religious. I was on it. So what happened is, the first 3 months went by, and my wife could see that my routine changed, but she didn't know what I was doing. She always saw me on the computer. She didn't know what I was doing. So I kept on working. One morning she came and stepped into, because my routine then was, I had a regular job. So I had to find 2 hours, because they said they recommend you need at least 2 hours to build the business online. So I leave the house by 5:30 in the morning, and I come home by 7, 8 most of the time. So I had to either do it in the morning before I leave, or do it in the evening when I come back. That's when the 2 hours is possible. It's not gonna happen. So I tried it in the evening. I found out my brain was tired. So that's why I resorted to waking up 2 hours every single day for the first 4 months in the building the business. That's why I say you may consider whether this is, because it's challenging. So I was waking up about 3 to build the business. At 5 o'clock, then I leave for work. So I was doing this for the first 3 months. So one morning she woke up. She knew that I was gonna be on the computer, and she woke up. She came. She wanted to have a normal chat, and bear in mind we weren't talking. So after summary of what she said was that she wanted us to separate. It doesn't necessarily, we're not gonna split the child, but she just needs to cool her head down because it was just getting too much. And I was like, okay. Normal me, I would be like, yes, let's separate and let's go. But something happened. It didn't go down that part. I didn't go down that part. I was more like, this was my response to her. I said to her, I have found something that's gonna help us. This is the I'm not saying that you can't leave, but you are not my problem. I am not your problem. I believe that what I'm doing here is going to help us in whatever challenges we have. Just give me the time to fix this. But I can't stop you from leaving if you want to leave now, or if you want us to separate now. That was more or less what happened. So she kind of found out that I was not buying into her story. Obviously, I wasn't even, because I had a picture of her obviously in the future in what I was building. We were quarreling, but I knew that something was wrong, but we just somehow we kind of fix it. So when I told her that, I realized I was building the business without her, and which I felt was the right way to do it, because maybe she wouldn't understand what I was doing. But what happened was that when you understand customer avatar or something, I don't know if you know about avatar in online business. So it's about finding who you want to. So that was the moment I kind of realized, if I can actually get this to work, I'll be saving a lot of marriages. I will actually reduce the divorce rate. That was my moment. But the challenge was, how do I get her on board? And which is the answer to your question. Now, what you don't want to do is try and convince your partner to do the same thing that you're doing, or try and sell them this is the way forward. Because what was lacking in our relationship was vision. And if one of you have to be a visionary, someone that sees something in the future, go for it, and the others will be like a leader, and the others will follow. And that's exactly what I did. So I locked into the idea of financial freedom. And what is the tool that will take us there? It was online business. Because you have to understand, you have to look at your problem. What is the cause of the reason why you're arguing or bickering? Because for me, it was more like we were not spending time together, because I wasn't spending time with it. So what is taking my time? It's work. I'm working 14 hours every day. So why do I go to work? Because I want money. Okay? That's getting down to the roots of what the problem is. So if it's money is the problem, now Albert Einstein said you can't solve a problem. This mind has created a problem it cannot solve. Or you can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created it. So you have to understand that what I was doing was not gonna get me out of it. I need to change the way I earn money. That was the game. That was just a solution to the problem. Now, there are so many opportunities out there. An online business is not the only one, but what you have to understand that everything you're gonna do will need work. But for me, what attracted me to online business, it came with financial freedom. It came with I love the idea of making money while you sleep. I made one last night. I love the idea you can travel. You're not restricted by location. So these ideas I bought into. So this was the vehicle, and it has a very low startup capital. Unlike if you want to go and start real estate, they'll be asking you want to start McDonald's franchise or something. They'll be asking you like thousands or hundreds of thousands of pounds. I don't have that kind of money. So you have to weigh your circumstances and know what is actually going to get you, the vehicle that will get you to your destination. So for me, the time and financial freedom to spend time with my children, my children now, take them to school, all those normal routine things parents should do, teach them privately, play with them. This was basically what my goal was. So the online business answered the question for me. So that's why I started online business. So going forward to when, after we had that conversation, bringing her on board in the business was really the challenging bit. And everybody's gonna be different. Les Brown said, if some people can't see financial freedom, you can't sell it to them. You have to keep moving. So you have to understand that initially, people that are very close to you are most likely to not reject you or refuse to believe that you've changed. So it's your duty and responsibility on your part for you to stay steadfast towards achieving your goal. So that was my moment. I realized that if I could do this, I could teach people how to do this. And that's my goal. That's what I want to share with people, how they can actually take control of their life if you have similar problems. Now, convincing your partner or trying to get them on board, it's gonna be where it's tough. But the goal, how to do this, because I have done it, how you're going to do this is you're not gonna focus on her. You have to focus on yourself. Because it's easy for you to say, there's something Wayne Dyer said. Wayne Dyer said, if you think someone cost for you to be the way you are, that means you have to constantly wait for that person to change before your circumstance can improve, and you might wait forever. So you have to understand that the best part is for you to change the way you look at it, and the things you look at will change. So in other words, you can do something about it. The first point is no blame. Anything they do, don't blame them. Allow them to express themselves the way they are. This is a difficult task you're asking here. Because let me give you what it looks like. Sometimes I'll come back in the evening or in the morning, and on weekends I'll be working on the computer, building the business, building my website and all that, trying to create funnels and all that. And they'll be watching reality TV show just next to me. And I'm trying to think, because in this online business you have to be creative, and you need that moment, those silence. So I found ways. I started carrying my jotter and everything. So I record ideas on a piece of paper or my journal. So when I come back home, I start implementing them in my business. So these are the kind of challenges that you may face. So don't feel bad when you see them not doing things that are leading them, because you can now see, because as the visionary you can see where the family is going to, but you have to prove it to them first. You have to either prove it to your husband or prove it to that you're serious in achieving that goal. So that's where the challenge, mostly you have to focus on yourself, deliver, upgrade your skills. So now what happened was, as I started upgrading my skills, when I made my first sale online, I showed it to have made a sale online. And at that point, we started talking, because after that day, she opened that conversation. We were talking, but we were not really. We knew, as a couple, you will know that there's something underlining, but you wouldn't know. You would just let it lie down there. You wouldn't want to go there. But sometimes the truth is, you have to revisit it and make sure everything there is cleared. So what I will say to you is, you have to understand that most of the responsibility is going to lie onto one person to take the family where the family needs to go. What you will realize is, if you're having any marital problem, it's usually that if there is no goal. Most relationships start without the man or the woman defining where the marriage or relationship is going to. We just start our relationship, we meet somebody, we toast them, they fall in love with us, we just start, this woman can be my mother of my children, and you just go on, and without any clear definition of where this relationship is going. What is it, as the product of this unity, what are we going to achieve together in this world? What is the goal? So someone has to be a visionary, then lock into that idea and start walking towards it. It's not talking about it. Walk, do the work, invest the time, education, and resources that you have, and start moving towards that direction. Then it's more of the rest is history. It's like law of attraction. They say success is attractive. Once you start heading towards that path, building those bridges, breaking down those fears and barriers, building your business, creating the kind of life you want for your family, everybody around you is like you just suck them in. They don't have option. They will just get sucked in. And she sees me. Let me tell you, for instance, she sees me now. I train people on webinars from all over the world. People from Canada, United States. I'm in London. Some in London. Some in Singapore. I talk to them. I do it over the internet, and she sees me. But where did I start? I started as a courier. But I've upgraded my skill. I understand the online business. I train people on how to do it. So once she starts saying this, she has seen the change. She sees me make sales almost every day at home, and I celebrate it. I'm always happy. And it's not that she understands this. She played a very good part in me succeeding without knowing. Because we had a son, she was always taking care of the boy. So that gave me the space to build and focus on the business. So I'm not going to say she did not play, but even though it wasn't direct in building or helping me writing emails, she took care of our son, our children, provided food for them, catered for them, whilst that gave me the space to actually build the business. So that's why you have to understand that. Don't feel bad if they're not really helping you direct in your business, but always remember that whatever you focus on somebody, if you start looking at, hey, she's not helping me building the business, you start being resentful. Maybe if you make money, you will kick her out, or you will kick him out, or whatever. Then you're not going to be successful. That's not what you. But when you understand that, if she has given you space to build the business, she holds the children, she doesn't let them interrupt you when you're doing stuff and all that. She helps you. It's support. So you have to acknowledge that part as well. So how I got her into I don't want to take your time. How I got her into starting building and helping me in the business was I found out that she was always on Facebook and Instagram and all that, trying to just liking people's posts and all that, because she's my friend on Facebook. So what happened was I now approach her with, I tried different strategies. It didn't work, but this is the one that finally got her in. So I kind of say, why don't you start managing my social media accounts? Since you're always on Facebook and everything you do on Facebook is not productive, why don't you? So that brought her closer to me, and from there our relationship is more like we talk very well now. Sometimes she can ring me, babe, I've got this idea of making a video talking about this. Why don't you do this? Or why don't you do this? She will say, okay, I'll do it in a blog, and I'll do it in the social. You handle the social media part, and I'll make the video. Something similar like that. So we kind of communicate together. It's not necessarily about the money. It's the unity. The when 2 or 3 are gathered, I am there. So we are now working together as a team. So you have to understand that there will be a little bit of work, but it's rewarding, and your children will grow in a space where there is love, and that's what you're looking for. You don't need to. You go to counseling, they tell you need to communicate with your partner. What if there's nothing to talk about? The relationship is more like, you call the phone, where are the kids? Are they back from school? Have they had lunch? What did they eat? And that's it. And there's no thing you do together as a couple. It's only a matter of time you will crash. So you have to find something and do it together. And the only thing that I found I could do from the space I was online business. It had very low startup capital. It required less time, and it's easy. It's more easy to start, mate. It's like this. It's just plug in and just get through the training, start educating yourself. So it's and investing in yourself. So that's what I would say to you. So stay steadfast. There is always a way out. My route might not be this be the best for you, but what I believe is if you follow something similar, you will get an astonishing result. Our relationship is awesome. She calls me now and say, babe, I'm proud of you. You know, all those sort of comments that you don't get. But that's what I sent her a message that I'll marry you again. You see, it helps. That's because we do something. She comes up with an idea, we implement it. I congratulate her again. So it's more like it helps in every area. Every area. You can't afford not to build something with your partner. So I encourage you to, if you want to start an online business, I will encourage you to do so. So I'll leave you with that. So take care of yourself and look after your husband. And if you want to know more about me, if you want to send me an email, you know how to get me. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to start a business online, you don't know, I'll leave a link underneath this page so that you can access some of the free trainings I've got and check some other videos I've got on here that I share tips on how I do things. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Take care and God bless. Bye bye.